Let's make chicken cordon bleu sausage. Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name's Greg. Welcome to the Gourmet Woodsman. Let's do this. Making chicken sausage takes chicken. I'm going to be using chicken thighs. Ugh. I buy them with the bones in because it's cheaper that way, and I like making chicken broth. See all that skin? There's a lot of fat under the skin. That's why I like to use the chicken thighs. If you use chicken breast, it has a different texture, and some people like that texture better, but then you'll have to find yourself some chicken skin for the fat, or use pork fat, and I'm trying to make this sausage without using pork. This is actually a little too frozen right now for me to get these bones out easily. I thought it was thawed enough, but it's really not. These are much more thawed now. Well, I'm just going to take these bones out. Don't have to worry about trying to preserve a nice thigh. We're trying to make boneless, skinless thighs to present. We're just trying to get some meat for sausages. So if I like to find the bone on each side, just cut down along that. I'll cut one side off and just go along the bone. Keep these bones away for some stock. Toss those in the freezer with my couple chicken carcasses I have. And then I'll weigh up this chicken, see how much chicken I have, so I can get my ingredients together. There's no doubt that using my homemade prosciutto just took my chicken cordon bleu over the top. I'm going to use that in my chicken cordon bleu sausage. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want that? It's too soft and wanting to stick together, so I put it in the freezer. But you know what? I think I'm just going to have to grind this along with the chicken. I think that's what I'm going to do here. Yep, I'm just going to grind this with the chicken back into the freezer. I'm going to be using this Swiss cheese that I smoked. It's a smoked jarlsberg. Check out my video if you want to see how I smoke cheese. My cured ham has a lot more flavor than your typical smoked ham, but does not have a smoky flavor. So I'm going to get the smoky flavor from my cheese. I'm going to stick this in the freezer till I'm ready to mix it in. Chicken cordon bleu, going to mix up my salt and spices, going with 1.5% salt, which is pretty typical for my sausages usually. I'm going to use some thyme. Going to use some dried parsley. Gonna use some mustard because cordon bleu usually has a mustard sauce. Although the tarragon sauce I made, I don't think I'll make a mustard sauce again. It was so good. I will be using a binder in this sausage, and I'm gonna use non-fat dry milk powder. That's my spice blend for my chicken cordon bleu sausage. Well, I've had my chicken in the freezer for a little while. It's down around, this is 30 degrees, so 30 degrees, that's just perfect for me. Anything below 32, I'll take it. I'm using my coarsest plate. This is a 10 millimeter. It's gonna make for a pretty coarse grind, but the reason I'm using that coarse plate is I tried cutting this up by hand, and I think it's gonna be better grinding it. I want it dispersed throughout, so I think grinding it along with the chicken gonna be the best way to do that. But I want it to have some tooth if I can, so I'm using the big plate. And I'm just spreading the prosciutto out, trying to mix it evenly. I don't want any at the end because I want to make sure none of it gets stuck in the grinder. I'll make a little ball, send that back through. Let's see if that's how much that warmed up. It's still cool enough to mix right away. Oh yeah, it's down below 35, 32, 31, 31. Okay, plenty cold to mix. I gotta put my liners on under these gloves. Got my cotton liners under my gloves so I don't hurt myself trying to mix this, and I don't heat up my sausage batter while I'm mixing. Got my spice mixture along with my binder and salt. Now, I grated up some Parmesan cheese, Parmesan Reggiano. This is actually the one I smoked. I used Parmesan in the breading for my chicken cordon bleu. And actually, I like to use it for breading things, Parmesan crusted. It's delicious. So I've had that in my freezer, and I'm adding into this because I would put it into the breading. Using the smoked Parmesan in breading is actually a great use for it, and I might smoke Parmesan again just for that use. I had some chicken stock in my refrigerator, cooling down. You could use just water. I happen to have a little bit of stock left over from soup I made recently. Why not use it? I'm going to start mixing this up. And the chicken sausage is always a bit looser. Chicken just is a looser protein to make into sausage. Comes together real quick. We're almost there, so I'm going to add my cheese. And again, this is that smoked jarlsberg. I've had it in the freezer. It's pretty evenly mixed. It's a little loose. I don't know if it will lift my bowl, but it's funny, after I've been making a lot of salamis lately, and they're so much drier. And that Bydgoszcz sausage I made recently, that was also a pretty dry batter. Juicy sausage, but a dry batter. You can see we're sticking to my hand. It is kind of lifting it up, but most importantly, I can keep a big mount on my hand. And if you look at it closely, you do see strands reaching out. Into the hopper you go. Just gonna take that, kind of launch it in there a little. It's not real important with the small 5-pound one, but if you have a deeper one, definitely want to try to launch it. Either way, you still got to push out the air. Just try to push out the air with each handful so we don't trap any air in there. Last thing we want to do is add air to the sausage. Well, maybe not the last thing. Last thing we want to do is smear fat. That's why we do everything while it's cold. I'm using 32 hog casings here. And what I'm going to do is get a couple fingers in there, open it up, and then I'm going to put some water in there. Now, these have been soaking overnight, and I did flush out the inside. Flushes out the water and gets the casing pre-stretched. So before I put it on, always lube the horn before you try to slide anything on it. You're likely to tear something. Now I'm going to take my casing, after dipping it in the water, and I'm just going to load it on here. Now, I feel like this could be a useful prop for like high school health class. Advance this till the meat's at the end. Going to pull my casing out over it. Just put a little knot in the end. Like to punch a hole or two. Snip the tip and start stuffing. Now, you don't want to get them too tight because you don't want them to burst. A little loose is better than a little tight because you can just give it a few extra twists when we're linking them. It does take a little bit of practice. And honestly, with this chicken one, it's coming out so fast and easy that kind of have to be careful not to overstuff. One way you can kind of test if you want, I'm going to make that about 6 inches. So you can just pinch. If you can pinch and it stays indented like that, that's going to probably be just fine. If you can't pinch it down all the way, you're probably going a little too full. That might be too much. You want to leave enough on the end to make a little knot for yourself. To link these sausages, there's a couple ways to go about it. You could go down, pinch, twist that, and just alternate directions. Or you could skip that one, come down to the next one, and just twist that one away. Or towards whichever way you like to twist. But just twist it one direction, come down to the next one, give it a pinch. These are pretty plump. I hope I don't burst anything. Come down to the next one and pinch. And then just twist it away from you. Oh man, that one barely. That one did burst. Damn it. All right, now I'm going to keep going. Come down and pinch. These were a little bit too full. Kind of knew that was happening. Pinch. Go away. Really, just 3 twists is enough. If I had only gone 3 twists, I bet that wouldn't have gone. Try to push it down this way because I got room in the casing down there. Pinch. Ways and pinch. Twist that away. These are looking really plump though, I gotta say. Here, I'll probably just split the difference. Yeah, the last one's pretty large. Hello there. See if I can do this one without bursting anything. I bet I can. This one's not as overstuffed. Now I'm gonna just take my sausage picker where I see some air pockets, put a hole. I'll put 2 or 3 holes in them anyway. That will assist in getting a snappy bite, help ensure getting a nice snappy casing. Now I'm going to slide those onto this rack with a little rack with a grate on top. And I'd recommend leaving that in the refrigerator overnight. That'll help dry out these casings, as well as giving these flavors time to, get to know each other better. Alternatively, could leave it out on the table with a fan on it for half hour to an hour. Don't want to let it sit out too long. There's no curing salt in it. But because there's no curing salt in it, I could put it in front of a fan for an hour, cook one up today. So I think I actually am going to do that. Had these out for almost an hour, 55 minutes. Definitely drying up quite a bit. And that is a plump sausage. Hello, buddy. You're pretty big. Just going to separate these links. Before I taste one of these, I want to show you how I'm going to freeze them. Put them in seal meal bags, but before I seal them, I'm going to stick these in the freezer long enough for these to firm up. If I vacuum seal them now, it's just going to flatten my sausages. And look at those plump, dandy sausages. Because I don't want to flatten those. So anyway, I'm going to put these in the freezer just till they firm up a little bit. Then I'll seal them. Also, you got to be careful about stacking them like this until they firm up, because they could flatten a little bit. I've been planning and looking forward to this sausage for months. Let's see what it looks like inside. Oh yeah, success. You see those juices just dripping? See, we got cheese, we got a grapevine. I'm loving the texture, plenty juicy. Leaking sausage juice everywhere. Yeah, I'm gonna take a little slice before I go for the snap test. Oh my gosh, it's just leaking juice. That is chicken cordon bleu in a sausage. Now, I'll tell you something. I did cook up the patty that was left over in my hopper. And that patty actually tasted more like chicken cordon bleu and a little less like a chicken cordon bleu sausage. This, I don't know, I guess just being in the casing, this tastes like a chicken cordon bleu sausage. You got the ham. I'm glad I used the smoked Swiss since I didn't use smoked ham. Although my homemade prosciutto has way more complexity of flavor than just a smoked ham does. Let's get one more look before I go for a snap. But yeah, you can just see that. Oh yeah. That is a juicy sausage. It's got a great bite. All right. Well, let's see if it snaps. It's got a little snap to it. It's a damn near perfect sausage. One thing I would do next time was I would put some black pepper in. I don't know why I left black pepper out. It goes in just about everything. But it's pretty damn good even without it. It's a good ham to cheese ratio. If I was using just a smoked ham, I'd have it sliced kind of thick. Get little studs of the ham in there. It's like I'm getting studs of the cheese. You can see this is partially melted, but it's still studding the sausage. Even though it's not a high temp cheese, it's still able to stud the sausage. If you're looking for a different kind of chicken sausage, this might be the one. I like that texture from the coarse grind. Yeah, it's a winner. If you like this video and you're still watching, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss more sausage, salami, charcuterie videos. Put some love into the food you make. Peace. So good. So good.